Hello, buddy. This is Dad. Welcome back to this fucking what if Deku had a guardian. This is like the worst title for it, but I didn't want it to be what if Deku had a friend. Maybe if what if Deku knew Pedro or Pedro, however the fuck you want to pronounce it. I don't really give a shit. But yeah, Pedro. I'm just gonna call Pedro because I'm super used to calling him Pedro. But yeah, moving on. Where was I? Yeah. Okay. So, as I said last time, Jack had moved to America. So, yeah, he doesn't really have anyone anymore. Well, never mind. Never mind. Moving on. So, yeah, he's been doing that for a year, and he's been getting a little bit of a nuisance for this, I guess you could call it Yakuza, this Yakuza group, I guess you could say. This kind of gang. So, they capture his ass. Knock him out, put him in the basement. If you've played My Friend Pedro or My Friend Pedro, whatever the fuck you want to call it, you know where the fuck I'm going with this. Yep, we're getting into the fucking story arc of that shit. But not really. I can't really summarize the entire thing of it, especially since I played it 2 years ago. I don't know how long ago it's been since I played the fucking game. Probably a year, actually. I know I made this this what if after I've played it, obviously, but I don't know how long when I first played it, and then when I decided, yeah, actually, this would be a good thing. The reason why this whole what if started was because of the plot twist that's supposed to be coming up soon. Well, it could not be canon. It could be canon because I've seen two things about it. I didn't get the ending, so I searched it up, and it told me what the ending meant, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. But then I watched another thing to remember some shit about it. I watched a video to remember some shit about it, and at the end something else happened. They said something else, so I'm just gonna go with the one that's interesting. So yeah, don't worry about it. And if you don't think that's why, then if you played it then and you don't think that's why, or this reason is dumb or something like that, or that theory is proven wrong, I don't know. I haven't dug too deep into it. But yeah. But moving on. So yeah, the whole on shit happens with my friend Pedro. Izuku already has all the guns that he would have had, a bunch of different guns. But he lost all his guns, or the guns he brought that day, and he picks up random guns on the floor and takes them. You know what I'm saying? That's just how my friend Pedro happens. He gets he gets a pistol, 2 pistol, 1 Uzi, 2 Uzi. What's next after the Uzi's? Shotgun? I don't think it was the shotgun. I know the sniper rifle. The sniper rifle was last, right? It was rather the sniper rifle or the assault rifle, which I think that was like an M16 or something. I don't remember what it was. I was going to call it an assault rifle with apparently an attachment that allowed you to load impact grenades, I guess you'd say. I forgot if they're impact. I don't remember. Yeah, that's not even like a joke. There are fucking impact. You could switch the setting and then, bam, you fire a second barrel below fires out some sort of bomb, or I'm gonna call it an impact grenade because it's the thing that makes most sense to me right now. And just boom, gets all this shit. He goes against the last person. If you played My Friend Pedro, you know who the last person is. Who is he? I'll explain it later after the whole on thing. But yeah, he kills her. He kills her. Pedro starts going on this rant that how Pedro completed his mission or something like that. Completed his promise or something. And then he was like, how he did. Then he's like, I didn't. And I quote, shoves himself into Izuku's head. Let me tell you, it's like ear out of ear, you know what I'm saying? Like one ear into the other. That's not even a joke. If you played it, you know what the fuck it looks like. He tries to make Izuku kill himself, but Izuku, with the pistol, just pulled a pistol out of the pocket, trying to make him kill himself. Izuku resisted. They go into Pedro's world, which is just this weird ass fucking world. Now Izuku's starting to fight Pedro. That's not even a joke. He fights Pedro on, I think, like it was a walrus or something. I forgot what he was standing on, but yeah, he fights Pedro. He fucking kills him. He kills him. That's not a joke. He kills Pedro. Izuku comes back into the real world. Pedro's gone. He's disappeared. He's not there. He's not in his head. He's nowhere. Izuku would... Yeah, I forgot if there's buckles on it. I forgot how the mask worked. But yeah, he takes off his mask slowly. He was looking into the sunset as, we would pan the camera to his face over... That's not what happens in My Friend Pedro. He looks towards the camera, but we'll just pan the camera towards his face on this one. Make it more dramatic, the light's shining onto his face. I could totally picture this some sort of anime right now. I could picture it. Could you guys? I could see it so clearly. It pans on his face, as he would have the same smile on his face as Pedro. Now, Pedro, let me explain. So, the whole time, Izuku was going against the people who were his family. Actually, his blood-related family. Izuku, I don't know, I don't know what I wanted to do. I could have made him adopted. Well, there was never a mention of a mother. So, what I wanted to do with Inka was that she was kind of like a runaway thing. She married this man, fucking got into crime. He got into the bad business. She left him, took Izuku with him. You know what I'm saying? Took their baby boy. After having, I think they were probably twins. I think they were twins. I don't remember. He took only the baby boy, not the sister. I guess she couldn't get the sister before the big man boss came in. So she ran away as fast as she possibly can. Got a new life, whatever. So that's what happened in this story, I guess you could say. But yeah, pretty much he's been killing his family. He killed his father. He technically did not kill his uncle. His uncle fell to his death. I think, it was his uncle. That was the uncle, right? But yeah, he is the reason why he fell to his death, but whatever. He killed his sister, and that's the only family I can remember right now. That's it. That's it. I don't know what else to tell you. And then he killed Pedro, which, in this story, if you haven't caught on yet why he had the same smile as him, when I looked it up, he was was revealing that he was Pedro all along, and how Pedro was just a figment of his imagination. The voice in his head to keep pushing on for that promise that he made of destroying his whole family, destroying the family business and all that shit, because they're criminals. But in this story, obviously, Zuko didn't fucking know that. In this, Pedro is, he is him, but it was his, I guess, younger self, so to say. It was the part of Pedro, Pedro was always a part of him. He was weirdly, a part of his brain was just way more intelligent than him, I guess you can say. And it kind of made its own personality, its own different part of its mind. And Pedro knew what the fuck happened. So, I'm gonna say, Izuku was 4 years old, or maybe not 4. He had to be 3. He had to be younger than 4, 3 years old when it happened. So he started remembering shit. So after he ran away, Pedro made that promise and split from Izuku's mind. So Izuku did not remember shit about his family at all. Nothing about this family at all. But Pedro was the one who held that knowledge. Pedro was pretty much, if Izuku wanted to forget it, he practically made his conscience forget that fucking thing by making a separate conscience. You know what I'm saying? That conscience made a promise to destroy that family. And by the way of Izuku acting, not caring about people, he was worrying that he would get back and he would start up a fucking crime business like a corrupted hero. So basically, he wanted to kill him to stop it. But obviously, while killing him, he would kill himself. But he would take that sacrifice. That's why Pedro's weird. That's why I also think that Pedro has his own world. It's not Pedro's world. It's the conscious of Izuku. It's like both of their consciences. That's why he's capable of accessing it, because it's just their conscience. Obviously, Pedro's world is weird as fuck, and I can't really explain that without knowing anything about the main character of my friend Pedro, the protagonist, or I guess you could say player, without knowing anything about him. Like, he may have had a weird ass fucking thing going on with him. I don't know what the fuck would happen with him, but like, or maybe it was just that since Pedro technically, or I can make it so then Pedro had pretty much the mind of a child, kinda, because it technically was Izuku's 4-year-old, 3-year-old consciousness. So, yeah. Basically. So, I don't fucking know what to tell you guys. So that's probably why it's so fucking weird. I don't know, guys. I don't fucking know. I don't know much about the story. I don't know. Like, I'm just making theories pretty much about the story, but we're gonna keep this, obviously. So Izuku killed him, and he knows what the fuck he did. He has that smile on his face, not because he's smiling, because he won. He just has it on his face. He just has it there. It's just there. Obviously, I'm not gonna have Izuku's face always look like that. What the fuck, no. Obviously, his face slowly changes back to normal as like you could see like in his eyes the regret that he has. The signal of him having Pedro's face was the signal of Pedro's consciousness kinda going back into his head. But he doesn't have a conscience anymore. He's just a Zuku. It's just a Zuku now. It's just a part of his brain. He knows he knows all of Pedro's memories. He can see through him. He remembers everything. He can see through. He basically everything. Every single time Pedro came out, he could see those memories of Pedro through Pedro's eyes. He can see himself. Sorry about that. I'm really came into the room. But yeah. He could basically. You get what I'm saying. He's pretty much he could see Pedro's memories, so technically he can also see Pedro's eyes whenever that is. He can't see through his own eyes, he sees through Pedro's eyes. Like, Pedro wanted him strong so then he could beat his family, but he also wanted him to be a good person. But getting strong in the process made him cocky. It made him arrogant, I guess you can say. He didn't very much like people because he saw everyone around him, since he was quirkless, he saw everyone around him just seeing him as an inferior person, how everyone doesn't care about him at all. He's just nothing to them. So he began to hate people. Obviously, he had Jacket as a friend, but that's really it. He had his mother, who he loved dearly, but he ended up forgetting about her. Foreshadowing, by the way, because there's something very important about that. So yeah, Izuku would grief over this for many years. Izuku lived in an apartment. He would grief for this about 2 years, because 1 year would make him 19. 2 years would make him 21. And then 2 more years. Yeah, okay, got it. He would kind of grief over this for 2 years. Not yet, though. He would go back home covered in blood and just bullet holes and all this shit. Everyone would see this guy, just this person who some people recognized, and they try to get him an ambulance, but he didn't. He rejected all their offers. He just went home, slowly dragging his foot along, limping. He went home and just went into his door and laid there on the floor, and holy shit, he would. I think I'm gonna end it there, guys. Yeah, I really think I would end it there, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry that it took so long for that, just trying to explain everything about the story. But yeah, we could have not got anywhere without that. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and goodbye.